Hey you guys, SpiderMonkey29 here. Am I a spider? Am I a monkey? No one knows, but let's get started. So today I'm going to be talking about the next three Sony E-mount lenses that were announced. They also announced the Sony a6300, I believe, but I'm not going to be discussing that in this video. You're going to have to find another video on that. I can make one if you want, but this video is not going to cover that at all. It is just going to cover the next three lenses that Sony is releasing. So I'm going to start off with the FE 85mm f1.4 GM. FE at the start of all these means full frame E-mount, so just to get that clear. You can use these on APS-C sensors, but if you have like the A6000, I'm assuming the A6300, then that lens is going to have a 1.5 times crop factor, somewhere around there. Just do 1.5. So that 1.5 times basically means you want to multiply whatever the focal length is by 1.5. So 50mm is going to be roughly about 75 to 80mm focal range if it's made for a full frame. Now if it's APS-C, obviously it's going to be the same, but these are all full frame, so you need to add that 1.5 times crop factor. So this 85mm f1.4, now that is nice for a prime lens, especially for portraiture work. This lens is just going to be amazing. The GM is G Master series, so that's the next like level up from the G series. It's more of another sub brand inside of Sony, I guess you could say. So it's really nice that we're getting higher quality lenses in the E-mount system. So f1.4 after is going to be just amazing, especially for portraiture work. Getting that bokeh is just going to be so nice. A lot of people pronounce it different. I pronounce it bokeh. Sorry if you pronounce it different. This has an 11 blade aperture, so the defocused areas, or bokeh, are just going to be so smooth and so nice. If you have like a, I believe 8-bladed aperture, you can really see like a hexagonal type shape when you have lights in the background that are defocused. So an 11 blade is just nice to see, especially on an E-mount lens, not going to A-mount or anything like that. This also has the nano AR coating, so it eliminates the flare and ghosting when you're taking pictures, which is nice, and it's dust and moisture resistant. Now it is not weatherproof, it's just dust and moisture resistant. It's not saying that you can submerge it in water or it could be in the rain for a long time, so you still want to cover it up and be safe about that. This lens is about 4 1/4 inches long, so it's not that long, and it's about 3 5/8 inches wide. Now this lens is running about a weight of 28.92 ounces, so it's getting there. It's not heavy like a Rokinon. Even though those are fully manual, they're still pretty hefty lenses, but it's getting there. Now the next lens we got is the FE full frame E-mount 70-200mm f2.8 GM OSS. GM, G Master, FE, full frame E-mount, OSS, optical steady shot. So it's a 70-200mm f2.8. This is really nice for an E-mount because we have a 70-200mm f4, I believe. That's running about $1,500. This does not have a price yet, but I'm assuming this is going to cost you about $2,500 or maybe even $3,000. That's a little steep for an E-mount, but what can we do? We want nice lenses. It's going to come at a cost. So this lens is obviously going to have the nano AR coating to eliminate the flare and ghosting again, as the other lens did. It also has an 11 bladed aperture for the defocused or bokeh effects. Now that's really nice for a big zoom lens like this because you're going to be zoomed in and the bokeh is going to be more than an 85mm, so it's going to be more out of focus, more defocused the more zoom you have with the lower aperture. Now the other lens had a 1.4, this is f2.8, but with this extra zoom it should about average out. But if you're shooting sports or anything, this is definitely your lens for E-mount. This lens is going to definitely weigh down on your neck though if you're using that, so I do recommend a tripod with this. As I said before, it has optical steady shot, image stabilization, and I can't even say it, image stabilization, there we go. And it's dust and moisture resistant, so just like the other lens, it is not weatherproof. Now this lens is roughly about 8 inches long and 3.5 inches wide, and the weight's 52.21 ounces without a tripod mount. So you want to definitely prepare if you're going to be using this lens. You cannot, well you can carry it around and just shoot all day, but man, it's going to be a strain on your arm and your neck. The last lens that they announced is an FE 24-70mm f2.8 GM. So this doesn't have any fancy letters or anything in there, so let's just get right into it. So this has the nano AR coating as the other ones to eliminate flare and ghosting. Now this is only a 9-bladed aperture. Now it's not bad. It's really not as bad as it sounds compared to 11. but I kind of wish it was 11 considering the zoom, and this is kind of an all-around everyday lens. So you have wide angle lenses and you can zoom into 70mm if you want to take portraiture, but the f1.4 is going to definitely give you the advantage over f2.8. Now this has direct drive SSM for quiet, highly precise focus lens control. I cannot talk today, I'm so sorry. So this basically is meaning that when you're taking a picture, it's going to be a lot quieter. So it's not going to be as awkward if you're like taking a picture of a stranger on the street and you snap a picture. I know the A7R2 has silent shutter, but that also will, I believe it causes the device to heat up or something like that. Something's wrong with it. And I know that, but it is a nice feature. I do not have the A7R2, but one day. And it is also dust and moisture resistant. This lens is 5 3/8 inches long and 3.5 inches wide. So this is getting there in a long lens, but the weight is only 31.25 ounces. Now this is definitely longer than the f1.4 lens, but they weigh about the same. Now, as I said before, the 70-200 f2.8 does not have a price yet. So that's a little concerning because, like I said, it's probably going to be $2,500 to $3,000, maybe even $3,500. We're not sure yet. But the 24 to 70mm f2.8 lens is running right now at $2,200. And then the 85mm f1.4 lens is $1,800. So say goodbye to your bank account. It's going to cry when you start buying these lenses, but if you want nice E-mount lenses, these are the way to go. If you guys have any questions on these lenses or have questions about the A6300, send me a comment down below. I will answer everyone, and that's basically it for this video. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys later.